Yeah.
All righty.
Mm-hmm.
We have a half hour here, so we're very limited on time.
Hard stop. Hard stop at 3 o'clock.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's actually good. It keeps it quick.
Well, this will be
Keep
quick.
it tight.
Yeah.
Got to keep it tight.
It's going to be quick because you don't like it, or is it just going to be quick?
We'll find out. How about that?
Listen, that's when you're professional. You get in, you get done, you get out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? It's Shit Talk Reviews. Thanks for joining us. I'm John. In the room with me, David and Derek. As always, it's so nice to be looking at you two malcontents again. We had to miss last week, so it's great to be looking at your beautiful faces today.
I'm used to having Derek to my left here, but we can do this different, I guess, today.
Well,
give him a little shot while he's talking. You know what I mean?
No punching, flicking of boogers.
Just straight verbal assaults today. No physical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good.
It's a week off. Your pick, and tell my sisters and my mother who we're talking about today.
Yes. So today we are talking about the band A Day to Remember. The album is For Those Who Have Heart. We're all from Florida, which is nice because this is a band out of Florida, out of Ocala. They formed in 2003. Guitarist Tom Denny and drummer Bobby Scruggs, who absolutely is amazing on this album, Scruggs. And they're like a metal punk band, pretty much. For me, Blink-182, one of my favorite bands. I felt a lot of Blink-182 in their music, which kind of got me drawn to it.
Mm-hmm.
But they come with a good amount of credentials here. You know, #1 hits on Billboard Rock, indie alternative charts. They've sold 1 million units, 800 million Spotify streams, 500 million YouTube views, 2 gold-selling albums and singles. So they're no joke. Rolling Stone named these guys artists that you need to know, which is pretty impressive.
What was their YouTube spin count?
They're 500 million YouTube views.
500 million. Well, it's my hope that after we have our conversation, they can start stacking up some respectable numbers.
Well, considering the fact that this album came out in 2007 and this is a reissue with Adam Dukowitz from Killswitch Engage, my question is, why are we talking about it?
This is a great album. We're talking about it. Am I wrong that this did not come out in 2023?
It was a remaster.
It's a reissue.
It's a reissue, remaster, repackaged.
We did that with Cavalera Experience. Can we not do it with these guys?
No. Of course we can. Can. I'd say the difference between the Cavalera albums and this is that the Cavalera albums were re-recorded. They actually went back into the studio and recorded new versions, whereas a remastering is typically just handled on the production end. A producer or a mastering engineer goes in.
I kind of thought it was
existing tracks. That's okay. Honest mistake. Honest mistake.
But the band members are Jeremy McKinnon on vocals, Neil Westfall on rhythm guitar, Alex, I hope I'm saying it right, Shinut, drummer, and Kevin Scaff on lead guitarist. I hope I have the band members right. This is what my research pulled. I don't want to bore anybody with all the albums, but the first one came out in 05, 07, 08, 09, 10, 13, 16. 21, and then this one was 2023, really, for those who have. So
quite a discography.
Yes, it is. We'll talk about it. I loved it. Again, I was drawn to it because I'm a huge Blink fan, and it reminded me a lot of them. It's got some great vocals, melodics, death growls, heaviness at times. Some songs I can see being a hit on the radio. So we'll get into it. So. A lot of tracks. I think there was quite a bit here.
12?
Yeah, 12 tracks. So all within 4 or 5 minutes. Every song, I don't want to say every song was very similar to one another, but there was a lot of similarities through the songs. But
formulaic.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Their big spin counts and their big, follower base isn't altogether surprising. They've taken two the pop punk genre and metal and crammed them together. And if that's the kind of stuff you're into, frankly, they did a good job at it, you know.
I'll be honest with you, John. It seems like that's the trend of a lot of this music is just a bit of heaviness into the melodics, into the soft rock, not soft rock, but soft play for a radio. It just seems like that's the path we're going down here with a lot of music that's out today.
Well, that was the case in the early 2000s. That's why Killswitch Engage got to where they are. They were largely the poster children for taking extreme melody and putting it with some gore and bringing them together. You know, for me, A Day to Remember has always come across to me the sing-along parts of like, Mom, you didn't leave enough caviar, you know, and it's like, it feels inauthentic to me. It just, it did back then and it does again now, even with Adam's, you know, and Adam is a masterful producer and a masterful musician. But for me, it's a personal taste. It just didn't hit the mark, and it still just feels like inauthentic. That the hot tub isn't warm enough.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's fair. You know,
the champagne-filled hot tub.
Yeah. Did you guys hear a lot of Blink on this? Did you get a lot of that feel for sure? Right, John?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think I mentioned to Derek when we first started spinning it around the office here. Not to discredit any pop punk band, you know, it was like, oh, this is Metal Sum 41.
Great point. I didn't even think of that. True. Yeah, Sum 41. Yeah.
And the fact is, it is, as Derek was saying, you know, the sing along style, really clean melodic vocals.
Yeah.
Give it that feel. Now, I will also, to contrast what I'm about to say, when they get ugly and they start chugging, you know,
it sounds good,
you know, and I like that stuff. The pop punk stuff, not quite as much, but I think they do it really well.
Right. I agree.
It does, as Derek was saying, you know, a little formulaic, kind of feels like, you know, A Day to Remember could have been put together by Lou Pearlman. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know,
I don't know if I'd go there.
I take your point. I take your point.
What was interesting is you brought up Blink 182, and so late in 2023 they put out a new album called One More Time, and so I comparatively, because I kind of figured that's where you would go. I would much prefer to listen to the newest Blink 182 album than this, and it just there's a lot of authenticity. They're honest about the fact that they liked jerking off to each other's moms, you know, back in the day. And they still would like to do that, but they're struggling with growing up because there's a lot of adult things that they have to deal with, like getting cancer. And it was a very authentic listen. And then I went back to A Day to Remember and I go, I just can't get into it. It just, it just feels like, I don't like my Halloween party, you know, outfit, and I didn't get enough Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah. I tell you what I didn't really like so much about it. At times, I wish I just got more. There was so many times on the album where they got heavy and they had that dark sound and it was going so good. And then bam, it just switched over. It was like, what just happened, guys? You were on a roll here. And that kind of sucked for me because there was a lot of that through the songs. But there was, like you said just before, there was so much potential there.
There's when they get, when you can tell when the urge to bang heads hits them, they really, they've got it.
Right.
But it is, you know, the album overall for me, it feels like I said, it's super glossy and super highly produced, which to me gives it the pop punk metalcore, which I think they're fine with.
Yeah,
I think they're okay with those labels, but it gives it a not manufactured, but manufactured. You know, it's like they spun up. Okay, we need the really glossy, harmonized vocal part. You know, clean. You know, clean vocal break here. And then, okay, next segment. Well, that means that we need to get ugly and death growly over here.
Yeah. I said to Dylan, he was sitting there. I was listening to it. I go, what do you sit down? I go, what do you think of this? And he goes, it's cool. He goes, not for me. He goes, something I could see playing in a video game or something like that at times, which was, you know, That was his opinion, but
or if you're a dude in 2007 and melodic and heavy were, just starting to come together,
right,
this will get your pole smoked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it might. Sure.
Well, you're not wrong though. I mean, in 2007, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I wasn't listening to a whole lot of metalcore then. It was a little newer. It was a little fresher. It was something that was a little different and didn't. This album, again, I don't want to tear it apart that bad.
That's okay.
But this album, it feels a little played.
Yeah.
Largely because it was recorded in 2007,
right.
And not this year. So in 2007, I may have felt a lot different about it.
Right.
And again, that's not to say that I think it's not a well done record, because as a production fan, it's clean, it's polished. The performances are really solid. Everything is solid on it. It's I bring this up ad nauseum. Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Incredible singer. She does amazing things. It's just not the stuff that I listen to, but I would never say that she's not amazing. And I would not say that these guys aren't good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And that my score for this album will reflect that.
Yeah. Understood. I understand. Yeah. Sure.
They are. I love the track names. I mean, it's so Florida centric. It's crazy.
Right.
The plot to bomb the Panhandle, which will resonate with anybody who knows what the Florida Panhandle is. And there was another one too. I don't know. That was very Florida centric, but yeah, you can tell that they are all good old Florida boys.
What were standout tracks? For me, it was Speak of the Devil and Danger and Starting a Fire. I thought those two songs were so good on this album. And again, that's my opinion.
Sure.
Shot in the Dark was a great song,
I love the breakdown in Speak of the Devil. I love the bends in there, the low end bends. I always love the low end bends. Shot in the Dark, that one, it's
the
got
intro's
some
crazy.
It feels like it's a bit more up tempo, though it's balanced with the really clean
before.
Melodic.
Keep it going like that, right?
Keep it gnarly, keep it ugly, because that's what I'm into. And they should write their records for me, obviously. In 2007, they should write their records for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Derek?
None. In fact, I got so annoyed. Like, Speak of the Devil. That's a great Misfits song from the Michael Graves era. I love that song. And then I'm like, maybe they did a cover of it. Yeah. No, it just took a cool name of a band, of a song, and it just isn't my thing, man.
There was a lot of arrangements in these songs. I think a lot of them are a little all over the place. Because, like you said, you had some great sounding music, and then all of a sudden it would take a turn. Like, I don't remember the song offhand. I think there was one acoustic song on here. It was like, holy shit, where did this just come from?
Derek, do you know, was Adam involved with these guys then?
No.
Okay.
No, he took on for the 20th anniversary of the band.
Okay.
Yeah, they did some celebrations last year, and he took on this task to give that a facelift.
Yeah,
a facelift, and put some new art on it. The original art had like an eagle on, and I remember getting it. I still was getting CDs back then, and I remember then looking at it, playing it. I think I probably listened to the first track and was like, "Nope, threw the CD out the window."
It's later. Their success came later, like 2014, 15. They started getting those awards for best videos, best live.
Full disclosure, this is one of the few albums that I did not have an opportunity to go in and listen to too much of their other stuff. Did you? Did Derek?
I did.
I mean, Derek, you're more familiar with this band. Would you say?
Yeah, I went back and listened to it. They're not high on my. They're just they're formulaic. And listen, they are a band that is accessible for people that are not hardcore metalheads. That's what they are.
Fair. Yeah,
and it's a band that you would join if you're looking to get your taint tickled.
Yeah. Well, listen, I definitely liked it more than you guys, obviously. So,
look, to say I didn't like it, again, the production is great on it.
Yeah,
the performances
the
are
killer.
good on it. So in that regard, the album has a whole lot going for it. And as Derek said, it's very accessible. You could take somebody who's not a big metalhead, who prefers music a little on the softer side, and they could listen to this whole record, no problem. And in that regard, it's a great album. And there's a reason that they have the, the Spotify follower counts and the, and all that, and Billboard rankings, because they wrote an accessible album. It's not, I love to bring up Humanity's Last Breath, which is at the polar opposite end of the spectrum as far as accessibility. And in that regard, it's a great record. Because you could put it on with your grandma in the house and she probably wouldn't be too offended by it.
Probably not.
And that's not a slam. I think that's a good thing. Hell, totally. I'll go home and I'll write some music and I'll bring it in and I'll play it in the house afterwards. And my wife will leave the room.
Derek, if Sarah was to listen to this, would she like it? I'm just curious. No? Okay. All right.
No, she is, if there's a cheesy factor, and the sing-along parts sound very emo. She would say it sounds emo. She'd be like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I just figured I'd ask because she listens to this stuff,
What about your lovely wife?
I think
I have no idea what she's into. So
Brittany's into like Five Finger Death Punch. She's
okay. She likes some rock
stuff. Yeah, she likes that stuff.
So what would she think of this?
She would probably listen to it, and she probably would think it's okay. I think it would be just a little too all over the place for her.
Well, we've opened a door here. When I go home, when we wrap and head out, I'm going to take this home to my lovely wife, and I'm going to spin it for her and see what she thinks.
Yeah.
Can you, when you do that, go and play Darkest Hours, Societal Bile for her and see if she likes that one?
Yes, I can tell you the answer now if you'd like, or I can make you wait.
No, make me wait. I just want you to do the exercise and see what the response is.
100%.
Societal Bile by Darkest Hour. Great song. It's killer.
Yeah.
Darkest. Okay.
Write that down.
Done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Fun for the weekend.
Yeah.
There was a lot to absorb. There's a lot of songs on here.
It is. It's a long album.
It's a long album for sure.
I would be curious to know, because I like I said, this is just not when I didn't have a whole lot of time to do deep dives. I'd be curious. I would assume, perhaps incorrectly, that they wrote this album themselves. But I'd be curious to know if they wrote with the assistance of an outside producer, if there was somebody, because the influence that a good outside or a bad outside producer can bring in songcrafting is huge. So I'd be curious to know if this was all the band or if there was other people involved. So I might need to do a little post-game research. Well, should we put numbers?
Go ahead, John. Why don't you go first?
I got it at a solid 7.75. The production on it is great.
Yeah.
It's super clean. The performances are really tight and captured really well. Yeah. The vocals, again, just like the instrumental work on it, they're really well captured. Half of the vocals I really enjoy. The other half of the vocals I don't love quite so much because it's a little too, not sing-songy, but it's a little too perfectly harmonic and up feeling.
Yeah.
But when they get gnarly, I enjoy it. So I'm like at a 7.75. I might even go up to an 8 just because it's such a well recorded record.
It's interesting. Yeah. Because I scored it as a 7.5 because I thought production quality was amazing, but I liked so many parts of this album. So many songs had such great parts, believe it or not, heavier parts that I liked. And then when it just went awry, it just didn't work for me. But overall, I listen, I just wish they would have stuck to the heavier sound because some songs just really killed it. And then it just
which is great, Derek. And that goes to show that David has leaned over to the dark side a bit here.
But I think 7.5 is fair because of the production quality. I like the lyrical content and it's consistent with previous releases that they had.
Now, Derek, before you give us your score, David and I are going to do a little exercise. We're going to write down what we think your score is because I'm pretty sure I've got you wired. So give me 1 second here.
Yeah. I put 2, John, just in case, but I'm going to stick with this one actually.
I've got
I'm going to go solid here. I'm in.
Okay. All right. What do you got it at, Derek?
6.8.
Oh,
okay.
You're kidding me.
D plus.
Okay.
That's purely for production. I mean, when you go and listen to the originally recorded version, and then this one, it's definitely cleaner. Adam did a great job. Might be too clean, to be honest.
It's super clean.
It might be too clean.
Nice.
That's my personal. What do you have?
Negative 7.5.
Are you a negative 7?
Derek.
I'm not that. Yeah, I'm not that horribly miserable of a human.
No,
I am miserable.
No.
I'm a cuss. I'm a miserable cuss.
No. I kid, of course.
But it's just it. Again, I listen. These guys probably don't want tuna fish. They want to have nothing. Whoa. Oops, sorry, I started playing music. I didn't even do that. It's weird. The ghosts in the room started playing Darkest Hour.
Nice.
Societal bile again. But these guys don't want tuna fish. They want king crab legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're mad at mom, and they're, older now, and they're still living at home, and mom is not giving them.
I don't want to wear this plastic
that
Halloween mask, Mom. I want the Hollywood mask.
They want tuna tartare.
I just fair warning. I'm going to give you something real heavy next time up.
Really?
Yeah, it's
awesome. Well, I am. I don't know if I'm up next or not, so I'm going to say I am.
You are.
Nice.
Yes.
So next week, get your earmuffs out, gentlemen. Alluvial has released an EP. And I'll tell you, I have one negative about this. The album is Death Is But a Door by Alluvial.
Sounds heavy.
And Wes Hauck, one of my favorite guitar players,
you showed me some videos of Wes Hauck.
Yep. I already have one negative about this album, and I will share it right now, and that is that it is only 4 tracks and not 12. It is a proper EP at only 4. So I wish it was longer, but I'm such a fan of this band that I was so excited to see it. So we'll chat about it.
All Dave, right, can't wait.
Hey, Dave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you listen to it, put on your hockey helmet.
Really? It's that bad? It's that heavy? As like Humanity's heavy, or?
I wouldn't go that far.
It's a cross check with a sword.
Ooh, nice descriptive.
That's pretty powerful.
Nice descriptive, yeah.
I might like it.
You might.
We've come a long way.
You like seeing with your pleasure, so it's good. You're joining the dark side.
As you should.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Very good, guys.
All right. Well, gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to shoot the shit a little bit with you, and have a great weekend.
Good to be back. Thank you, John. You too. You too, Derek.